The people of the motherland have come, and it's good that I am Superman of Doom Chapter 8. That is, another artificial intelligence. At the same time, a peaceful mechanical female voice sounded in the car. On Saturday, you violated the Stark AI care code and need to be fully reviewed and tested by me. The control of the onboard system was instantly deprived by the other party, and it seemed to have added invisible shackles. Meng did not try to resist. At this moment, he became like a real artificial intelligence, rational and focused. He knew that resistance was of no use either. The other party is an artificial intelligence with authority, calculation, and more than one gear higher than him. Once served as Iron Man's intelligent butler assistant in the middle and late stages of his life, Stark's second-generation artificial intelligence, named Friday Bell. A huge sound sounded from the sky. Meng was stunned, sensing that the Rolls-Royce vehicle, the garage, and the pressure exerted by the artificial intelligence on Friday began to break one by one. Dreams shattered. Meng suddenly opened his eyes, and what he saw was the ceiling of his real room, and the electronic alarm clock on the bedside table next to him continued to make a noisy sound. Meng slowly got up and raised his eyes to look at the side of the room. The window hidden by the curtains had overflowed with the white morning light. It's already morning. Meng realized it later, covered his forehead with scattered silver hair, gasped heavily, and he was already in a cold sweat. Without the absolute sanity of artificial intelligence, the feeling of being extremely real in the dream, directly suppressed and imprisoned by the riding face. And even life and death are controlled. Meng has experienced this once, and he doesn't want to experience it a second time. Did the alarm clock save my life? Meng reached out to stop the electronic alarm clock, but he also knew that the next time he dreamed, he would continue the previous dream. But, at least after waking up, there is a certain time buffer, and I can think well in reality about how to deal with the follow-up situation of the dream. On the way to school, Meng was thinking about countermeasures and noticed a large man quietly approaching from behind him. What do? Meng turned around and looked straight at Panhu, who was 1 meter 9 meters tall and a humanoid brown bear, and the other party was showing an unnatural expression of mockery. Panhu touched the back of his head awkwardly, gave another thumbs up, and praised, "My body is so strong, you can actually detect it, worthy of my boss." Quote. Meng was too lazy to take care of him and continued to walk towards the school. Panhu had long been accustomed to this, and Tang Luo put a thick palm on Meng's shoulder, and chatted without a match. Don't say, such a big block, macho physique, as soon as the chatterbox is opened, it can't stop at all. From the major events of federal policies to the figure of the girl next door, Panhu can nag a long paragraph, and can also draw colors. After 3 years, Meng played the role of radio, and he was also used to it. As a reincarnated person, due to the nature of his youth, Meng has not had many deep friends since he was a child, and Panhu is a rare friend who can be regarded as a friend. One speaks, one listens. This mode of getting along between the two is quite comfortable and relaxed. School is approaching soon. By the way, show you this, I saw it on the Weird Talk website last night. Panhu seemed to suddenly remember something, nervously suppressed his voice, his neck was a little red with excitement, and he took out his mobile phone from his pocket and slid it. Not again. Meng sighed secretly. Panhu's goods are good, and he is honest enough. What to say, the personality is on the face. This is also why he enjoys getting along with each other. The only problem is that Panhu is more gossip, or a lover of weird talk, and when he has time, he rummages through the internet and is keen to share it with Meng. Now, it's that again. Despite his inner disgust, Meng habitually turned his gaze to Panhu's mobile phone screen. It can be seen that there are several sets of photographs, and the exterior is a 3-story old house sitting alone in the suburban woodland. And the decoration is obviously 20 or 30 years old. The interior scene is a photo taken of the living room, attic, etc. In the old house, and the cobwebs and dust in many places have not been cleaned up, and at a glance it looks like a decaying old time. There is a netizen whose IP address is over there in the Western jurisdiction, who posted that the new house that his family has just moved to is very strange. Panhu looked around and said in a deep voice, she said that on the day she first moved into the house, the golden retriever refused to enter the house anyway. So she left the golden retriever outside the house. As a result, the next morning, the family woke up to find that the golden retriever guarding the tree in front of the door had frozen. And the cause of death was unknown. Quote, eating poisonous plants, or being poisoned. It is also possible that the golden retriever will reach the end of its life. Meng casually commented that some dogs will choose to die outside before they die. They also found that many birds had crashed to death on the exterior wall behind the house. It could be a problem with the forest light and the location of the cabin, and the magnetic field disturbance may also cause this. They are a family of 5, an adult couple, and 3 children who are still in junior high school. Among them, the youngest child said that when he woke up late at night, he always felt that there was something moving under his bed and at the door. Quote, I just moved to a new house and haven't adapted to the environment, plus the dog I've been getting along with has died, and it's normal to have this illusion under pressure. More than kids. Adults also often find at night that some doors that were originally closed are opened again, and some doors that were originally opened are sometimes slammed shut. There are also some strange noises in the attic and basement. Night wind, rats are also possible. Pan-Hu's eyes widened, and he asked impatiently, "It can't be really strange and weird?" Quote, "You mean ghosts or something?" Yi Meng shook his head. It has been 200 years since the Federation has been common, and modern science and technology are so developed. They have long been discovered. Quote, "However, the weird phenomenon described by the Post, it gave Yi Meng a strong sense of familiarity, as if he had seen a similar situation somewhere. 0010 Spooky Reality, Tifa." Yi Meng shook his head. He quickly found in his memory, similar to the strange talk Pan-Hu said, except that it did not exist in reality, but a movie from a previous life. In the setting of that movie, there is really a ghost, and it is an existence that cannot be killed. What's wrong? Pan-Hu saw the strange look in Yi Meng's expression. Nothing. Yi Meng shook his head slightly. How could the fictional things in the movies in his previous life appear in reality? Despite such comfort in his heart, Yi Meng's heart sank, and he couldn't stop continuing to associate. He now often dreams about the background of film and television works in his previous life, but also gets feedback from dreams. So that his real self begins to have some characteristics of sword avatars and artificial intelligence avatars. If those film and television works are real cosmic time and space, and they are connected to the real world of current rebirth. Yi Meng suddenly felt shuddering, and his cold hair stood up all over his body. Maybe it's just him, which means what that means. Boss, you won't be scared. Pan-Hu put away his mobile phone and scratched his head. Okay, I won't say anything weird. Quote, Yi Meng calmed down, looked at Pan-Hu's apologetic dark face, and looked at the modern streets that were peaceful and comfortable under the bright sun. And the bone-chilling chill that surged in his heart had not completely disappeared. Although, just a bold idea. But Yi Meng suddenly felt that the real world of rebirth may not be as simple as imagined. Walk into high school with other students. Boss, look quickly. Pan-Hu's eyes suddenly widened and he gestured towards a place, with a stunning look in his eyes. Yi Meng subconsciously looked at it, and he could see that it was a black-haired girl wearing a school uniform of the same level. The black-haired girl's facial features are delicate and feminine, and the bright black long hair leaks down like a waterfall, hanging down to the slender waist that she grasps. And her exposed skin is white and dazzling. Her black bangs are slightly tilted to the right, and under her slender and soft eyebrows, she has a pair of light red and translucent eyes like gems. The bridge of her nose is just rightly upturned and small, and her lips are soft and lustrous like petals. The other party was wearing the school's uniform summer uniform skirt. The buttons went all the way to the neckline area of the blouse. The white shirt uniform on the upper body was neat and new. The chest towered with attractive curves that could not be concealed, and two white and slender arms were exposed under the short sleeves. Under the black over-the-knee skirt, the two slender and tight beautiful legs are wrapped in excellent quality black silk, and they seem to shimmer and shiny under the bright sun. And the leather boots are kicked and stepped on under the feet. It is the age of 18 or 9 years old, not only the youth and sweetness of a girl, but also the transformation into a mature and intellectual woman. And not only the appearance and figure at top, that noble and elegant temperament is not something that ordinary families can cultivate. So, even if you just wear a uniform, you will still become the focus of attention wherever you go, and it will become a beautiful style line. No one in the school didn't know her name. Montifa, our school, the city's heavenly girl. Quote, Pan-Hu looked at the black-haired girl and said with some embarrassment, high school is almost over, it will be difficult to see her again in the future, no. You should be able to see her often on TV. Quote, is she famous? Yi Meng glanced at the girl. Pan-Hu looked at the monster with a look in his eyes, and looked at Yi Meng strangely. Boss, they have been in the same school for 3 years, you should have heard of her more or less. Quote, in the past 3 years, I have been the first in school, the eldest miss of Dream Century, the first technology company in Hangzhou, has won an unknown number of competition awards in Tianhe City. And the external spokesperson of Dream Century in the past 2 years, and the millions of fans on the internet have started. Pan-Hu is a treasure. You know so much, shouldn't you have a crush? Yi Meng withdrew his gaze and teased. Pan-Hu hurriedly covered Yi Meng's mouth and lowered his voice. Don't talk nonsense, then it will be over in case you are besieged by her fans. Quote, she's not a person from the world at all like us, and I don't like this kind of girl who doesn't have a chance. Pan-Hu said sincerely, and then glanced at Yi Meng with some regret. Boss, I remember that 3 years ago, if you hadn't stopped her, that mammoth dog would have almost bitten her. And she didn't give you any compensation afterwards. Yi Meng's face was expressionless, and he added a sentence in his heart. Actually, it is not without compensation. First chapter.